Well, I think we're ready. It was a great end to the preseason. It's been a good 5 weeks. The guys have worked really hard, made a lot of progress. We're going to win a lot of games this year if we play the way that we played in that second half. I thought we were absolutely electric. 25 shots to 11. And the mark of a good team is when your back's against the wall and you need more, you get more. And I've been seeing this team respond positively when their backs are against the wall. And that leaves me with a great feeling moving forward. A big part of winning is having the right mentality and having that winning fiber. You can't bottle it. And you hope when you put your team together that they have it. And we had hoped in our selections with this group, additions, and the players that we kept, that we would be able to harness that. And I'm seeing it in this group. They're playing with a lot of swagger, a lot of confidence, and a lot of mental toughness. And boy, when we get going and we play Portland Timbers football, it's fun to watch. Still a long way to go. It's tip of the iceberg, and that's what's scary. Is this team can I think be really pretty special group. But we got to keep making progress, and there's certainly a lot of things that we need to continue to correct and sort out. There were moments in the game, even when we were completely on top of that team, where they hit us on the break, and we got to make sure we're tight, a little more tight in the back at times. But I thought overall, Dylan Tucker and Andre Jean-Baptiste, they're young guys, and it's easy to forget about that, but they're very young players, and they're getting better by the day, and I thought they grew up. First half, a bit tentative at times, but second half, I thought they really, like I said, when we needed more out of them, they stepped up. I thought our entire team did that, even the guys off the bench. Looking forward to the season next week, getting back to work on Monday, and I want to thank the crowd for their support tonight, and they're going to be a big help for us as we push to have a wonderful season this year.
Questions?
Caleb, your opponents have scored first in the last 3 matches. Certainly not a trend you want to see continue. How worried are you about that?
Not worried. Again, it's preseason. Obviously, in the 3 games, we played different groups as well, so it's hard to lump that trend in completely. But, again, in soccer, you're going to give up goals. To think that you're not going to be behind in a 34-game season is completely unrealistic. And again, when we have given up a goal, we've come back from it in a couple games, and very few teams do that. In all honesty, I think the statistic last year in MLS was 80% of the time the team that scored first won or tied. So only 20% of the time did the team win. So it's something we talk about. We want to score the first goal. We want to come out aggressive and set the tone, and yet soccer's an interesting sport. I mean, things happen. You can dominate and give up a goal in a moment. And I thought the first half was a good example of that. I thought we had a pretty good first half overall. We didn't give away a ton of chances. But all it takes is a moment, and we've made some mistakes in moments. But we'll clean that up, and we'll tighten things up. And again, we responded. So for me, that's the positive. Is that when we went down a goal, we responded. We did that against San Jose as well.
Coach, can you give us some idea of what your mental depth chart, given who's available, is at center half right now, and how close are David, Hagar, and Mikhail to actually playing meaningful minutes for you?
Well, you have Silvestre, obviously, and Baptiste, and Dylan Tucker, and Footy, Danso, who are healthy. Those 4 guys that can play there, and Dylan, he's gotten some good experience. So we feel like he's a guy that can step in. He did it tonight. He played 90 minutes, and he was very solid. He's just going to get better and better. So we're real happy about him. And then you have David Horst and Hanier Mascara who are injured. So not sure where they're at. We're hopeful they'll be back shortly, but at this point we're not sure when.
So do you expect this young center back tandem to open up next week?
No, we expect Sylvester to open up in one of the two spots. So we're hopeful he'll be here next week. So we didn't sign him to sit the bench.
I just wondered what his time frame was and his availability.
Yeah, he'll. I mean, we can't guarantee it. It all depends on getting the visa sorted out. But he has an appointment on Monday, and we're optimistic he'll be here next week for the game. So. But if we had to play those two guys, we'd do okay. I think we'd be fine.
Can you comment on what you're expecting him to add to the team when he does come in?
Sylvester
Yeah.
will obviously bring experience and confidence and a presence on and off the field. He's a quality player, obviously. He's played at the highest level in the sport. And, I was impressed with just how well he moves. You look at his age, but you would never know. He's a professional in every sense of the word. He's the first guy in every day. He's the last guy to leave. He takes care of himself, and that's why he's done so well and is still such a good player at the age that he's at. So, he's smart as well. Very cerebral player. Reads the game well. You think he might get beat for pace, but he never does. At least I didn't see it because he takes good angles to the ball, and like I said, he reads the game. He knows how to manage his line, and he's going to be great to sit next to one of these youngsters and help joystick them, and organize them and teach them. And that was a big part of bringing him in. Is not only is he going to perform on the field and help settle our back line, but we think he'll help mentor some of these young guys that need a professional like him next to him to not only on the field teach them nuances, but off the field as well. What a great example when you see him, at 35, having played for Arsenal, Manchester United, and the French national team, having seen him still playing as well as he is, and being such a good professional, taking care of himself, eating right. Taking care of and managing his little nicks and niggles, and it's good for our club as well to have a guy like this because he's a good guy, he's a good person, and really enjoyed the 2 weeks that we were with him, and the players all really respected him and liked him a lot.
Considering the growing confidence you have in this group so quickly, did you at all underestimate, perhaps going in, how quickly they could absorb what you wanted out of them and what that learning curve would be?
I didn't know. I mean, I coached obviously the U23 team, and it was a team of professionals, and I was impressed with them how quickly they adapted. In all honesty, to some of the tactics. It's one of the things that I told my staff when I was at Akron when I came back from a training camp, 10 days. I couldn't believe how quickly, and that's because they're professionals and they absorb tactics a little quicker. They're obviously cleaner. Their speed of play is quicker, and so I had hoped that they would buy in. I had hoped that they would gel. Didn't know how quick it would be or happen, but I think again there's a long way to go. It's tip of the iceberg still with this group, but we're ready for the first game, and that's what we wanted to be after preseason.
Can you talk about how the team started the game and how you felt about the start and their adjustment as they went further along in the game?
Well, I thought actually we started the game very well. It was a very good start to the game. If you watch the game, I know you guys all just look at the goals and the results all the time, but I'm a coach, so I look at the flow of the game, and I have a sense of the game. And just like in the second half, we were going to make a few adjustments. I was prepared to go into a 4-4-2 diamond, and I had a couple other little moves I was maybe going to make in terms of personnel, but I could feel the flow of the game in that second half turning our way, and I didn't make the moves. I kept in the 4-3-3 because I felt like if we stuck with it, the rhythm of the game was in our favor. And, we made one move with Piccioni, and, in the end, I thought that was the right decision. If we change into a different system, that might not have worked. So in the first half, I thought, actually, if you watch the game and soccer, we played very well. we were the better team in the first half, but we made a mistake defensively. They played into a striker. We were a little bit loose. They had a little quick combo that got behind us and scored the goal. So it was a moment where we lost, but in the end, I thought we started the game very strong.
Let's go one more.
It was against the run, the goal they had.
Coach, can you talk about Darlington's effort tonight? I thought he really gave AIK a lot of frustration with his speed and pace, and so I thought he was a big difference maker. I'd like to hear your thoughts.
He was very good. He was very good, and Khalif was very good as well. Those two guys were tough to stop. We worked a lot this week on their movement, overload in the middle, and a couple little runs and with the outside back bombing on, that mechanism with those two guys, that partnership with Ryan Miller, and Khalif, and then Michael Harrington and Darlington, and I thought those their connections were good this game, and because Ryan and Michael, their timing of when to push on was good, that also helped free up those guys. So when they overloaded, now their outside backs, AIK, had to deal with Harrington and Miller, which freed up Darlington and Khalif when they came inside and they found a lot of little pockets there in the middle, and were able to get the ball and drive and find seams, and it made it hard for AIK to pick them up.
Thanks, everyone. Locker room's open.